We're going to take just a second. What is that? I need the link. Okay. Um, okay. So here's my thoughts on why Democrats taking the House so far at rather a small level is actually a good thing for constitutional conservatives and libertarians. So here's my take. I'm actually glad that the Democrats are taking the House because I'm for limited government and gridlock is good. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the bad things like unconstitutional wars are a bipartisan issue that are supported by both parties. As many of you know, like the FISA bill that allowed secret courts to be set up was supported by most of the establishment on the right and the left. Hillary voted for it, voted for the Iraq War, many other things. But the hope here is with a few constitutional conservatives in the House and the Senate, like Justin Amash, Thomas Macy, Rand Paul. By the way, take a moment, make sure you follow all those people on Twitter and Facebook. Um, Justin Amash, Thomas Macy, Rand Paul. Those principled people hopefully now can rally a true constitutional conservative resistance to the craziness that goes on in both parties. So anyway, I think it's a good night, and another thing, if you're a Trump supporter, I'm a never Trumper who mostly supports Trump. I'm not a neocon, but I herald a lot of things he does on my website iroots.org. Check out our website. We got a big story on. We had about 5 people, maybe more, holding NPC memes at a Bernie Sanders rally. Um, that was about 2 weeks ago. Bernie Sanders was here to support Liz Watson, who lost in Indiana. So go check that out on iroots.org. It's the first article. But anyway, what I was saying was, if you are a Trump supporter, and I'll tell you why I'm on the fence about Trump in a second. If you are a Trump supporter, um, this is really good for his reelection because anything that now happens, even if it's not technically accurate, can be blamed on the Democrats. So, I mean, this is not original analysis. This is something that I've heard establishment people even point out that if the Democrats take the House and they don't take the Senate, now they have divided government. Rand Paul now, Rand Paul, that's who I wish was president. Oh, that was a Randian slip. Trump now has a foil to run for re-election. They won't be able to impeach him because Republicans have the Senate, and now anything that goes bad in the economy, true or false, they'll be able to blame on the Democrats on gridlock, and so I think he'll do quite well in 2020. Quickly, so why I'm not necessarily a Trump supporter? I didn't vote for him. I voted for Pence. I just left President blank. I just didn't trust him character-wise, but I would say about 60% of what he's done, I support. I think he's done great things with deregulation, seeking peace with North Korea. And if he keeps on that track, I will vote for him in 2020 if he shows a willingness to make efforts to bring some of our troops home and or if he actually defunds Planned Parenthood. Those of you who know much about the pro-life movement know that Republicans are complete hypocrites on this issue. Just recently, most of the Republicans voted for taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood, and Trump recently signed it into law. So that's a sad thing for if you're a true pro-lifer. But if he makes moves to defund Planned Parenthood and or he brings our troops home from even just at least one of the theaters overseas, whether Afghanistan, Iraq, and doesn't pursue war with Syria, I think I could come around to voting for him in 2020. Anyway, it's been an interesting night. One interesting, I didn't really post an article tonight. I had to work tonight, so. But I would encourage you to follow our news feed of Twitter. That's on iroots.org. That's IR. I'm going to leave a comment right now. Oh, I don't know how to do that actually, so I won't do it. So if you go to iroots.org, iRoots.org, and on the right-hand side of your desktop computer, you might have to go down to the bottom of your mobile phone. I'm not sure how that works. On the bottom, that you can um, you can watch a stream of constitutional conservative, libertarian, and just interesting people, even people on the left who I trust and want to hear from, like Glenn Greenwald, Jimmy Dore, and other folks. iRoots.org, look at our Twitter feed on the right-hand side of your screen. Anyway, I hope you'll follow iRoots.org on Twitter. That's at IROOTS.org. And Facebook, there is an iRoots.org page, but I also use Ron Paul Activism. Hope you all have a good night. Take care and enjoy. I don't normally do live things on YouTube, so I'm gonna see if I know how in the world to do this. How do we end? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna stop streaming. You guys have a good night.